All right, how's everybody doing today? It's a beautiful day for Tempe, Arizona. My name is Brian Swanton. I'm the president and CEO of Gorman & Company. And welcome on behalf of myself and my co-MC, Jackie Taylor from Save the Family Foundation. My partner in crime as well. We welcome you to the Valor on 8th for veteran families. Congressman Dan Lipinski once said that on the battlefield, the military pledges to leave no soldier behind. As a nation, let it be our pledge that when they return home, we leave no veteran behind. I'd like to start with a presentation of the colors by Arizona State University, Army ROTC. I'd now like to welcome Miss Teen Tempe, Tiffany Ticolo, to the stage, and she's going to join us and sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Jackie, you want to come up here and follow that? Because I don't. Wow, thank you very much, Tiffany. That was amazing. You know, when Robin Arredondo, Vice Mayor Robin Arredondo and Mayor Mitchell and the Tempe City Council created this opportunity to develop veterans housing on this site, I knew immediately that we wanted to be part of that, but I knew we couldn't do it on our own. The first phone call I made when I heard about this opportunity was to Jackie Taylor and to Laura Skotnicki at Save the Family. Laura is on the Tempe Veterans Commission that was created by Vice Mayor Arredondo and the council. And they just brought a deeply rooted connection to veteran families in this valley. And I want to ask Jackie Taylor to come to the stage and introduce our first speaker.
Wow, is this a wonderful day or what? We have been waiting for this day for years, and today it comes to fruition. And what a celebration in a state that ranks 48th in lack of affordable housing. There are so many more affordable housing units like this that are needed, and it's just a touching day for me to think of these 50 families that have found this beautiful, service-enriched environment in which to thrive. And this is really something to be proud of as a community. It has been a wonderful community effort. So thank you to all of you. I really want to take just a personal point of privilege. If I could, we have a lot of Save the Family and Arm of Save the Family board members. Could you please wave and let us thank you for your wonderful support? And our staff, we have many staff of Save the Family here. You all make the miracles happen every day. Could you give us a wave? And now it's my honor and privilege to introduce Mayor Mark Mitchell. Mark is a third-generation Arizonan with deep roots in Tempe. Before being elected mayor in May of 2012, Mitchell was elected to the City Council in March of 2000 and served 3 four-year terms. Mayor Mitchell has focused on strengthening Tempe's local economy by working to attract new businesses and retain current business partners. He's helped bring thousands of jobs to Tempe since becoming mayor. Mayor Mitchell is continuing his family's legacy in Arizona politics. His father, whom many of us loved and adored, Harry Mitchell, was mayor of Tempe from '78 to 1994. Please welcome Tempe Mayor Mark Mitchell.
Well, good morning, everyone. You know, Jackie, thank you so much for the introduction, and thank you for all the work that you do. We couldn't do what we do without the help of all the thousands of volunteers and organizations that really help make up Tempe and what Tempe is today. And Jackie, you are correct. This is a beautiful day, and I like to think that every day in Tempe is a beautiful day. But this is really exciting to be here for the opening, the grand event for the Valor on 8th. And it's such a beautiful building, and I know on behalf of the City of Tempe, the City Council, my colleagues that are in the City of Staff in Tempe, and our residents couldn't be more excited about this day. The City of Tempe has worked hard to be known as a city that really truly does honor our veterans, whether it be with this project right here that we're honoring today, or our Veterans Memorial, or the Veterans Commissions. The City of Tempe is proud to be a veteran supportive city, I think a lot of you know, and to work within our community with our veterans. We want our veterans and our military members and family members to know that we honor them, and that's why we work so hard to really provide the initiatives in our community aimed at improving their own personal quality of life. And I really want to recognize Vice Mayor Arredondo Savage, who I know she'll speak in a little bit, and she's also a veteran, by the way. She has a huge passion for really understanding the issues and dedicates really a large part of her public life to all of your services. You'll hear next from her, but I just want you to know that I'm so proud of Vice Mayor Robin Arredondo Savage and the work that she's done in this project. I also want to recognize former Councilmember Corey Woods, who also is a big part of this project, as well as the Tempe City Council members, the current council and our past council, that really dove in, as Brian mentioned, how important this is to our community. And I want to congratulate Gary Gorman for the building this beautiful facility that we're recognizing today, as well as you can't say enough about Brian Swanton and Jackie Taylor, of course, from Save Our Family, for helping us run this great facility. And hopefully this is just the beginning of more to come in our great community. It's a proud day for the City of Tempe. On behalf of the City Council and our residents, we want to thank you, and this is a great day. So let's just celebrate and enjoy. Thank you. Brian?
So when this project first came about, I was looking at my emails last night, and it was fall of 2014 where I saw my first email about this potential project. And at the time, we were struggling at Gorman and Company trying to find a site for an affordable housing development in Tempe. And we had one in mind and we were working on it. And we had a lot of technical challenges with that site that we still to this day have not fully worked out. Someday I'm going to develop that project. So at the time, I called the city staff to the table, Paul Bentley and Naomi and their staff team, just to brainstorm a little bit. And Vice Mayor Arredondo and Councilman Woods at the time joined that meeting. And so we just started putting our heads together. And we couldn't get over the hump on this site and over the technical issues we were having. But then Robin said, you know, the city just bought this land. And it used to be a Havana Cabana bar, or the library as it once was called. That's where I did all my underage drinking, I think. That sat on this site, and the city used federal funding to acquire this bar because it was becoming a neighborhood nuisance. It was even on the TV show Bar Rescue, actually, at one point in time. And so you can Google that and sort of watch it. And there's young teenage kids from ASU whose parents from Chicago gave them money to buy a bar, and they were running it into the ground and causing all sorts of neighborhood issues. She said, we're actually demolishing the building right now as we speak. You should go check it out. We're going to issue a competitive request for proposals to do some veterans housing down there. And so Corey said, well, let's get my car and I'll show you where it is. And so we did. We took a look at it, and the light rail is a stone's throw from here. We have a nice bike path, Creamery Park right down the street, Arizona State University all around us, and I thought this is just an amazing location for affordable housing. But then I learned that the city wanted to do veteran family housing for veteran women and veteran families with children, and I thought, well, I've never done that before. But we'll put our heads together, and so we got together with Save the Family and put together a really great program, I think. Proposed that to the city, and the mayor and council supported our proposal, and off we went to the races. But it was all because of Vice Mayor Arredondo sort of putting the puzzle pieces together, recognizing that we're having a problem over here, they had an opportunity over here, and she had a personal passion to see to it that veteran housing for families was developed in Tempe. And so I'd like to call Vice Mayor Robin Arredondo to the stage to say a few words.
You told my whole story. Oh, well, Brian shared all the good stuff, right? I mean, the fact that there used to be Havana Cabana right here, like you're standing right on it. I don't know if anybody you've ever partied there, but anyway, I just want to really quickly say thank you so much for everybody taking the time out of your morning to be here today. I can't tell you what a great day it is for the city of Tempe, but really what an emotional day it is for me. And I thought it would be great to just kind of share a little bit of the journey of how we got here today. And when I say it's really an emotional journey, and Brian talks a little bit about that email, we went back and looked, and it's almost to the day today. February 25th, 2014 is the very first day that my dear friend, Corey Woods, and former council colleague, convened our very first military and veterans working group. You know, together we said, we know the city of Tempe can do so much more for our veterans and our veterans family, but what is it that we can do? So we brought together different representatives from our local military and veterans community. We included members who specializes in different areas, from housing, from education, social services, career placement, and just overall well-being of our veterans. And we got together, and our objective was to identify the areas that the city of Tempe could really make a positive impact in the lives of our veterans. And through a lot of conversations, I think we lasted, our committee lasted for about a year, Corey, was that right? And I'm telling you, it was a dedicated group of individuals that really cared. They not only cared about the veterans, but they cared about what the city could really do to make a difference and then create best practices moving forward. And so we developed a really comprehensive veteran service plan. And we wanted to achieve several goals. I'll tell you, military people are overachievers. So I really do appreciate all their work. And we made a commitment to not only our goals, but definitely to complete the mission. A few things that we wanted to do was to create a one-stop shop for veterans and their families to make sure that they had the right connections to those different services that they had earned. We wanted to offer a Veterans Court. We wanted to celebrate those who have committed to serve. We wanted to become a veteran-supportive city in the state of Arizona, and we wanted to establish a Veterans Commission to support the work and continue our work. And we accomplished all those things. But the one thing that we did call out was veterans housing. We knew that veterans housing could be a top priority, and we set and we built a goal to build a veterans housing project right here in the city of Tempe. And what we did with that is we got to work, and that's what we do. So it was Corey, thank you, Corey, and I have to give a shout out to Parrish. So if you guys don't know Parrish, will you just kind of raise your hand, thank you, because together, if it really wasn't for Parrish, like keeping us on task and keeping us organized, we definitely wouldn't be where we are. And he was there for the whole process. So thank you so much for your work and your commitment. And him also being a veteran made it really very special. We got to work and we did a lot of research. We researched veterans housings for months. We learned about the state and national trends, kind of what was happening out in the community. We took several site visits, so thank you for all those other veterans housing projects that invited us in, showed us what they were doing. We really do appreciate that because we learned from each and every one of you. And we knew then, after all this homework, all this research, that we really wanted to make this happen. But we wanted a project in the city of Tempe that was unique and a project that really was true to our Tempe values. And to make sure we had the opportunity to do it right, Corey and I invited other affordable housing experts from developers, service organizations, our own housing champion, who I love, I know she's here, one of my favorite housing champions, Joan Cisco. Joan, I know you're here. Thank you, Joan. So Joan Cisco of Veterans First, who has really been an inspiration to me and to our working group and their own housing for women, which is called Mary Ellen's Place, and they took us on a really great tour and really gave us an inspiration. And our own housing department, Naomi, you and your team, I know you're here too. I just want to say thank you for your commitment to your willingness to get involved and to do something different and unique that the city of Tempe had never done. And the one thing, after several discussions and a lot of talk, we discovered that there was a real need for this in this community for veterans housing that focused on families and their well-being. It was a really unique opportunity to create something special here in the city of Tempe, a project that I truly believe matched our Tempe values, helping families stay strong and healthy. It was really easy to move forward from that point on. We had a great team, a strong vision, and a lot of energy to really make it happen. So today, here we are. And I'm proud to say we did it. We have really accomplished our top goal to deliver veterans family housing in Tempe. I want to thank everybody who collaborated with us on this journey, because we wouldn't be here today without each and every one of you. And a big shout out to my dear friend and council colleague Corey Woods for believing in the vision from the very beginning. Thank you for that. And to the mayor and our council now and our former council colleagues. They also, too, were very instrumental in making sure that we were able to move forward. The city manager, Andrew Chi, I know you're here, too. Our human services department, our community development staff, Brian Swanton, and all the phone calls and emails that we exchanged probably over the last 4 years. I just want to say thank you so much for you and the Gorman team for everything that you did. Save the Family, Jackie and Laura, you guys are fantastic. So thank you. We couldn't ask for better partners to be here on site, to be able to deliver the great services that I know these families are going to really appreciate for years to come. Joan Cisco, thank you for everything that you do and sharing all your knowledge and wisdom with us. And our military and veterans working group, for those originally that sat down with us in 2014, thank you for taking the time to do that. And to our Veterans Commission, who is going to, what I know, continue the work and actually enhance the work moving forward. So I have to say that I am so grateful and so humbled for the commitment from each and every one of you, and for all of you being here today. I really can't thank you enough. It's a great day for Tempe. Thank you very much.
I know Robin can't say it, but I will. There is an election coming up soon. And I strongly encourage you to find the council candidates that are here today. There's 2 of them that I'm aware of, and support them. So at the election. Thank you, Robin, so much for your leadership. And thank the city staff. All seem to be in the back there, but they really were in the front during this whole ride, and really do want to appreciate all of their team and housing and community development at the city of Tempe. I also want to call your attention to the banner behind me. It takes a massive amount of partners, financial partners, to put a $14 million affordable housing project for veteran families together, and each one of these had a major financial stake, these organizations. Catherine Mazzacco and her team from BMO Harris Bank are here all the way from Chicago for the warm weather, I think. And so thanks for coming, BMO Harris Bank. Terry Benelli and Pat McNamara. I saw Pat here from the Phoenix LISC office, providing pre-development financing for this project. And they also helped facilitate an investment from our friends at the Arizona Community Foundation. I want to thank the Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago. Those of you that may remember named Tim Clont, who's now with the Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago, used to work for the city of Tempe and for the Arizona Department of Housing at one point in time as well. He has a strong passion for what we're doing here. He extends his apologies for not being able to make it, but they provided a significant $675,000 grant to help with the capital costs of this development. I want to thank Enterprise Community Partners, our equity investor, the Maricopa County Human Services Department, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Thunderbird Charities, and the Diamondbacks Foundation, who we'll hear about a little bit in a minute. But no financial partner contributed more and brought more to the table than the Arizona Department of Housing through both the low-income housing tax credit program, which is one of the most successful federal programs, I think, in the history of our nation, especially as it relates to housing and community development, but also state housing funds that were contributed by Arizona Department of Housing staff there with Andrew Real, Gina Redondo, Lori Hofer, Jacob Shope, to name a few, and so many others, spent countless hours helping us assemble and close on our financing. ADOH has a new director. A different director was here when we had our groundbreaking. But their new director, Carol Ditmore, is no stranger to housing and community development. I first met Carol, I think, 22 years ago when I was an intern at the Arizona Department of Housing, and she was sort of one of these bigwigs, and now she's a real bigwig. So I've worked side by side with Carol for several decades now, and she's just such a strong leader for our state, and we're really glad to have Carol Ditmore join us at the stage.
So I don't think Brian mentioned, but when we first met, he was an ASU intern. He did our first fair housing analysis that the state ever did. And Brian had a picture of Ted Kennedy in his cube. And so I really wasn't sure how he was going to work out in Arizona, but he's done us proud, and Brian, we're so pleased to see your new role with Foreman and Company, and you made a really good choice in choosing Brian. On behalf of Governor Ducey and the state of Arizona and the Department of Housing, I really want to thank you all for letting us be a part of this project. As Brian mentioned, we put a lot of funding in this, about $10 million worth of tax credit equity. It's a beautiful facility. We're so glad that it is dedicated to veterans and families. Beautiful project. We want to thank the city of Tempe for donating the land. I hope that, Mayor, I hope that you will brag about what it brought to your city so that other mayors around the state will find it in their heart to do the same thing. It makes it easy, so easy to develop affordable housing when the community really gets behind it. So I'm going to be brief. I don't have much to say. I just want to say thank you to everybody who had a hand in pulling this together, and we know this will be a great project for years to come, and thank you.
All right, I'm from Boston, okay? You're supposed to have a Ted Kennedy picture in your office when you're from Boston. Now I have a Tom Brady photo, if that's any better. Oh, thank you, Carol. I also want to thank a couple of other folks. Our team from Dunlap and McGee Property Management Services are all here. Christine Shipley, Wendy Weisky, Aaron Busey, and our property manager, Elena Wyatt, who herself is a veteran as well, leased up this property in 30 days and have a long waiting list now. We have 13 veteran families with children right now, and every time a veteran comes to our front door, they automatically go to the top of the waiting list through our veterans preference, so they don't have to wait the years and years that most of our residents have to wait to get an apartment at an affordable property like this. I also want to thank, we have our landscape architects from Design Element here, Jeff and Mark, my old college buddies from ASU. And they do such a great job on the landscape architecture in all of our developments. Mary Alexander, who's also here with Treehouse, she did all the interior design. And round of applause. And if you go inside, there's actually a Robin Arredondo wall in there, which is very cool, some of her old Army photos. And Michelle Bravo and others are featured inside, but she did all the artwork with a local consultant that put those together as well. So thank you, Mary and her team. Maricopa County Human Services Department played a really critical role. Most of you may not know, but when we started digging on this site, we uncovered an archaeological minefield, if you will. We had burial sites, we had prehistoric canals, we had prehistoric footprints that were discovered only the second time in the history of Arizona, where they found the footprints of a child and a dog from, I don't know when, a long time ago. And it took several months of archaeological excavation to deal with that, and several $100,000 as well. But it was Maricopa County that stepped forward when they really didn't have to help us through the bureaucratic nightmare that the archaeological challenges presented to this project. And they got it done quickly, so we wanted to have Bill Montgomery, who's a veteran himself, our county attorney, represent the county here today. Thank you for being here, first of all. And if you could extend to your staff in Human Services our thanks for everything they have done. I welcome Bill Montgomery to the stage.
Thank you very much, Brian. I'd like to think it was the critical legal advice that we provided to them that allowed things to move forward. But that's just one example of a partnership approach and a team approach that folks have within the county and working with municipalities at the various functions at all levels of government to further important projects like this. And I want to thank Mayor Mitchell, Vice Mayor Arredondo, fellow public servants for the chance to be here. I got the chance to be here during the groundbreaking as well, and the anticipation and the hope that was discussed at that time for this particular project, I think is more than met. This is absolutely fantastic. And there are a couple of different touch points that I have or perspectives on this particular project. And it goes back to when we did the groundbreaking, and I arrived at this location, and one of the folks who was with me from my office was a former Tempe police officer who regaled me with his stories of all the call-outs that he had and opportunities to come and serve the public at this location. So let me just start with by saying that for removing a location of trouble and alcohol, as the chief prosecutor, I'm very grateful. Thank you. But then also as a veteran, you know, in Brian's opening remarks, he mentioned that, you know, it's part of the warrior ethos for American service members that we never leave anybody behind on the battlefield. And I believe very strongly that that should carry over to when people return from their service, and we shouldn't leave any veteran behind here, particularly when they're in need of help, whether it's behavioral help, whether it's economic help, whether it's housing help. And so as a fellow veteran, I'm grateful for what's being done for veteran families and for individuals who need help up. And it reminds me too, to paraphrase General George Washington, who once observed that the degree to which we recognize those who have served is the degree to which future generations of Americans will be willing to serve, regardless of the justness of the cause they are called to serve in. So I think this is a wonderful testament to the commitment of the city of Tempe to veterans, to the Tempe spirit in wanting to serve, and to our whole community's commitment and the team that came together here to build this wonderful project. So thank you very much, and pleased to be able to be a part of the ceremony here today. Thank you.
We know that one of the keys to the success of developments like this is the supportive services that are offered to the residents of the project. And for any of us who have worked to develop these services, we're keenly aware that it takes major, valued, tried and true community partners to help keep those services alive and well. And it's an honor to introduce to you one of those partners today, the Thunderbird Charities. And I would love to introduce you to Carlos Sujic. Carlos is a partner with Snell and Wilmer, and he is the 2018 Waste Management Phoenix Open Tournament Chair. In the firm, he is a partner in real estate and commercial finance practice group, and he manages the firm's Los Cabos office. That's gotta be tough duty. He is admitted to practice law in both the United States, Arizona, and throughout Mexico, and is currently the U.S. Chair of the U.S.-Mexico Bar Association. Carlos has been selected by his peers to the best lawyers in America since 2013. Please welcome Carlos.
Wow, thank you for that introduction. What a great building, what a great morning, what a great effort by all of you. We, on behalf of the Thunderbirds and the Thunderbird Charities, we appreciate the opportunity to be here this morning and obviously to partner with Save the Family and ARM and everyone here in this great project that presents a unique opportunity to help our veterans' families. I think that this is one of the things that we do as a group that we're so proud of, to be able to help children and families in need. I want to thank you as well for your support of the Waste Management Phoenix Open. By supporting our tournament, we're able to raise money and partner with great organizations such as Save the Family and help them do what they do best, which is serve the community. Thank you, everyone. Have a good morning.
Another treasured partner is our Arizona Diamondbacks, and Debbie Castaldo is here today. She's currently the Vice President of Corporate and Community Partnerships of the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation, and she's been working for them for over 9 years. Debbie leads the team's community relation efforts and has overseen contributions of over $50 million made to nonprofit organizations since 1997. Putting education as a top priority, she has made possible the efforts of more than $1.5 million to schools across Arizona. Debbie has worked many philanthropic organizations throughout her career and received the Heart of the House Award for her impact on the Ronald McDonald House Charities. Welcome, Debbie Castaldo.
Good morning. What a privilege it is to be here today. You know, today is the opening of spring training, so Derek Hall desperately wanted to be here today, but he is standing down on the field getting ready for the first pitch. So what I would tell you about Derek and the D-backs is that it is a culture of philanthropy that is unsurpassed in professional sports. We care so much about this community that it is truly a privilege to be here today and see this facility come to life. I see friends of mine from around the community that have spent the last 9 years teaching me about issues facing our veterans and their families and inspiring us to be better than we ever thought we could as a sports team. And this organization beat out more than 350 applicants for the winning Grand Slam Award. 350 applicants. And I think Brian and Robin would tell you that when you walk in to do your final presentation, actually looks like a scene from the Shark Tank. You walk in and there's a board of people staring at you, waiting for you to tell the story, and this one was an absolute no-brainer. You see, the Diamondbacks Foundation is not funded by the team. It's actually funded by our fans. And this type of a project reflects the values, the mission, and the commitment of Diamondbacks fans. So although I get to stand up here today, I can tell you that this is a gift from our fans to you, to this community, to the veterans and their families that will call this place home. And to know that your sports team here really does care about you. We love you, and we want you to have the life that you've earned through your service and the life that you deserve. So from everyone at the Diamondbacks, our ownership, our partners, our players, and our fans, God bless you. I hope this is a home that makes you happy and gives you the life that you wish for.
Thank you so much, Debbie, and to all of the folks at the Diamondbacks. We really appreciate that. And it's really a fantastic playground. I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah. So we have one more speaker. There's only two people, and they're both here, that made the mistake of hiring me twice in their career. One was Paul Ludwick, and he's on the board for Save the Family now. And the other one was Gary Gorman, and hired me first as a developer and now as his president and CEO. Gary's now the chairman of the board at Gorman and Company. He founded Gorman back in 1984. We're functioning in 5 states. We have a portfolio of about 6,000 units of affordable housing across the country, and became the 10th largest developer of workforce housing in the US this past year, according to Affordable Housing Finance magazine. So I'd like to welcome Gary Gorman to the stage.
Thank you, boss, for the kind words. How'd I do? So, I have to tell you my little Arizona Diamondbacks story. So it was fall of 1973, and believe it or not, I played college football at a small school in Wisconsin, and one of the linemen was a guy named Jeff Royer. And I wasn't a very good receiver. He wasn't a great lineman. I'd say that if he was here. But fast forward many, many years, Jeff is now one of the major owners of the Arizona Diamondbacks baseball team. And so yesterday, I was exchanging emails with Jeff, and he said Debbie was going to be here, so thank you for coming. Jeff couldn't be here, but he said, are there children that live in this property? I said, yeah. And Jeff said, well, I want to give them tickets to the game. I want to host them at games. And this is the second time Jeff has done this. So when it says the Diamondbacks give back, they really do. And so the contribution that you see in the playground is from the fans, but they're also owners that have a heart as well. And so if Jeff were here, I'd thank him. So if you can pass that on, I'd appreciate it. The other thing I want to emphasize is that we've been partners with BMO Harris Bank for a long, long time. And since my friends Pam and Catherine and Mike came all the way from Chicago for this. So Catherine, stand up. Where'd Pam? Oh, there's Pam. Where's Mike? So please stand and be recognized. So one of the things I've learned in 35 years of doing development, and I think I checked with our office, this is our 114th affordable housing community that we've developed, is it's all about attracting and retaining talented people and partnering with the right folks. So my function here this morning is to embarrass our team. So as I call your name, I want you to come up and stand on that sidewalk right there. And even though I'm not the boss anymore, Brian is, it's not an optional thing. So where's Joe DiCarlo? He was our superintendent, ran construction on this site when it wasn't easy. And I tell you what, I have a special place in my heart for the folks that are out here doing the hard work building properties that, when it's 120 degrees, And I'm from Wisconsin, so we build when it's 10 below. So Joe, thank you. Bill Cawthon, our general field superintendent. I know Bill is here. There he is. All right. And where's Ben Shunk, our Arizona Director of Construction? Pete Meyer, who's our lead architect, and it's also his birthday today. I am not going to sing happy birthday to Pete. There he is. Emmeline Gabor, where's Emmeline? She's staff architect. I know Emmeline is here. Zach Johnson, our Director of Development for Arizona. Where's Zach? There he is. Megan Schutz, our Development Associate, is back in Wisconsin. Sally Schwinn is now the Director of, or the President of our market here in Arizona. Took Brian's place. And Brian gives me a hard time about hiring him twice, but to be honest, when it was pretty clear that we needed a succession plan and somebody had to take my place as CEO after 34 years, it wasn't even close as to who it was going to be. It was going to be Brian Swanton. So Brian, thank you. So one more round of applause for our team. Thank you so much.
Okay, that was pretty good. I'll keep them around for a little while longer. So instead of a ribbon cutting today, we're going to do a flag raising. And it's a special day today. The governor has ordered the flags to fly today at half-mast. One of our military folks were killed today, or yesterday, I think, from Mesa. And so we want to fly the flag at half-staff today. What I'd like to do is have Doug Royce with the Tempe Exchange Club come on up to the stage, and if Robin Arredondo could come up to the stage as well. Doug has a special presentation for Valor on 8th and for the city of Tempe.
I'm not a speaker. Weeks ago, I just said, hey, we'll donate a flag to be here. And I come this morning, they say, I'm a speaker, but they said I'm last. Well, I'm used to that. How many of you have been to the 9/11 3,000 flag healing fields? We're one of the largest, oldest in the United States. This is a flag that flew over our field. And I want Robin to read what the inscription says. We're donating this to the trophy case. Assume it's going to be called the Arredondo Trophy Case.
Well, I gotta bring my glasses up here. All right. Commemorative American flag flown on the Memorial Healing Fields, 15th anniversary of 9/11. Valor on 8th, thanks for serving, the Tempe Exchange Club.
There's a couple other present or prior members. Would you stand up and give them a hand? Where's Michael Whitaker? Michael was here, red shirt. He started the event. Who else is here from the Exchange Club? Or is somebody else? Well, just 3 quick comments. I'm not a speaker. 4 years ago, remember 3 years ago they were announced this is going to be built. 4 years ago they announced to the fraternities and house members and sororities that they're going to be right there in the house, and sorority members were all happy. Why? This was a booze place. Now they're not quite so happy, but if you look back there, all the fraternities and sororities are going to be located right there. Also on this stage, there's 3 of us. We were all born in Tempe. Tempe is the place to call home. And the last thing, remember I wasn't here to give a speech, but do you all realize that the Army National Guard that gave the presentation is the largest ROTC contingency in the United States in a public school? And let's give a hand for the Tempe High Orchestra. And I brought the mayor up too, and Robin, because we're going to present something also. We want the American flag to fly up there. And this is another flag. I've never seen it. I saw it in a box. I haven't opened it. But this is going to fly up there wherever you want to put this. Let's see. So when all the veterans stand up, and let's give them a big hand. This is for all the veterans. Thank you. God bless you.
Well, thank you all for coming. Jackie Taylor, Save the Family, thank you so much for being such an amazing partner once again on this great affordable housing development for veteran families. Enjoy yourselves and enjoy some refreshments inside the community room. And thanks for being here on such a wonderful day.